Top 10 gemstones found only once in human history. Throughout recorded history, gemstones have been valued for their color, clarity, and scarcity. But within the vast volume of stones mined and cataloged, a select few stand apart, not because of price or prestige, but because they are entirely singular. These are not merely rare, they are unrepeated. Only one crystal was ever found. Only one confirmed specimen is in existence. In several cases, it was never re-encountered. This is not a ranking of the most expensive gems ever sold. It is a documented account of geological events so specific, so exact in time and condition, that they produce something nature has not replicated. Each of these 10 gemstones exists as a singular, verifiable fact, not as a legend or theory, and each one marks the outermost boundary of what Earth has revealed to us so far. Don't forget to press and hold that like button, leave a comment, and hit subscribe before we begin. Ranked 10th, Painite, Specimen B, M1954-376, Myanmar. In the early 1950s, a reddish-brown crystal retrieved from the gem-rich Mogok region of central Myanmar was sent to the Natural History Museum in London for identification. Initial spectroscopic and crystallographic analyses revealed an unfamiliar chemical structure composed of calcium, zirconium, aluminum, and boron, a combination not seen in any recognized mineral then. Its trigonal crystal system, with a high refractive index and distinct optical properties, ruled out all known mineralogical classifications. By 1957, following extensive peer-reviewed assessment, the specimen was officially designated a new mineral species and named Painite, honoring British mineralogist Arthur C.D. Payne, who had supplied the original sample. The first and only faceted gemstone ever produced from this material, catalogued as BM1954-376, was retained by the British Museum as the official type specimen. For over 3 decades, no additional crystals met the minimum gemological criteria of clarity, size, and structural stability to permit cutting or polishing. While raw fragments of painite began to surface in Myanmar during the early 2000s, particularly from ongoing in Kayak Piat That, these samples were predominantly fractured, heavily included, or of subgem quality. As a result, BM1954-376 remains a sole known example of painite to have been cut into a finished gemstone. It continues to be the definitive standard against which all subsequent discoveries are compared. Despite the increased number of mineral specimens identified since its initial classification, painite is still regarded as one of the rarest gem-grade materials known to science. The original stone, unchanged since it entered the British Museum's collection, stands as a mineralogical benchmark and a reminder of a time when a single crystal could represent an entire species. Ranked 9th, the Incomparable Diamond, Democratic Republic of the Congo. In the early 1980s, near the town of Mbuji-Mayi, in what is now the Democratic Republic of the Congo, a young girl reportedly discovered a vast and misshapen brown crystal while playing amidst discarded tailings near a diamond processing plant. The stone, retrieved from the waste material of the MIBA mine, was initially overlooked due to its irregular form and coloration. Upon further examination, however, it was confirmed to be an uncut diamond weighing approximately 890 carats, one of the largest ever found. Gemological analysis revealed that the crystal possessed a unique internal structure and a rare, natural, deeper, brownish yellow hue. Despite its heavily included core and asymmetrical shape, it was determined that a portion of the rough stone could be cut into a gemstone of exceptional weight. After an extensive 4-year study and cutting process, the finished piece, now known as the Incomparable Diamond, emerged as a 407.48 carat internally flawless gem, cut in a modified shield step cut with 66 facets. No second diamond of this size, color, clarity, and cut combination has ever been recorded. Unlike other large diamonds that often share typological characteristics, the Incomparable has remained a singular entity in gemological classification and provenance. It has been displayed in international exhibitions, including at the Smithsonian Institution, and has changed hands through private sale rather than public auction. The diamond's current whereabouts and ownership are undisclosed. Though other large diamonds have since been discovered, none exhibit the same combination of origin, accidental recovery, and resulting gemological profile. The Incomparable remains the only documented diamond of its kind, unrepeated in form, unmatched in structure, and absent any known parallel in historical or contemporary records. Ranked 8th. The Chameleon Diamond, GIA Type 2B classification. Ranked 8th. The Chameleon Diamond, GIA Type 2B classification. Among the vast taxonomy of natural diamonds, a small and particular subset exhibits an optical behavior not previously thought possible in crystalline carbon: reversible thermochromism and photochromism. These rare stones, classified as chameleon diamonds, can temporarily change color when exposed to heat or prolonged darkness, an effect attributed to defects in the crystal lattice and the presence of hydrogen, nickel, and potentially unstable nitrogen aggregates. While several chameleon diamonds have been documented at the gemological level, only one has been definitively recognized as a fully saturated, natural fancy dark, gray-greenish yellow diamond with considerable carat weight, consistent color shift, and authenticated origin. This stone, certified by the Gemological Institute of America, GIA, as a Type 2B chameleon diamond, stands apart due to both its size and the intensity of its transition. Under standard lighting, it appears olive green, but when gently heated to approximately 150 degrees Celsius or stored in complete darkness for extended periods, it shifts to a vivid yellow hue. No other diamond with identical behavior, color grade, and physical mass has been reported. Its classification as Type 2B, already a rare category associated with semiconductive diamonds, places it within a group that comprises less than 0.1% of all natural diamonds ever recovered. The photothermal mechanism responsible for its color shift remains under active study, with research suggesting complex vacancy-related charge transfer as a possible cause. This specimen has been exhibited in controlled environments, including at international gem expos, but remains outside the public market. Despite sporadic reports of other stones with partial chameleon properties, none have matched this example in consistency, reversibility, and certification. Its singular profile makes it the only known diamond to simultaneously meet gemological standards for fancy color, chameleon response, and Type 2B classification, rendering it rare but categorically unique. Ranked 7th, Serendibite, Sri Lanka specimen. In the early 20th century, Serendibite was discovered within the metamorphic terrains of Sri Lanka's Central Highlands. It is a scarce borosilicate mineral composed primarily of calcium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, and boron. Its chemical complexity and formation environment, linked to high-grade contact metamorphism, make occurrences globally limited and typically non-gem quality. The original locality, near Gangapitiya, in the Ratnapura district, remains the only verified source of a single-faceted gemstone-grade specimen. The first known crystal to display transparency, sufficient carat weight, and a deep saturated blue-green hue was recovered from a small, now exhausted pocket in Sri Lanka's gem-bearing alluvial gravels. Detailed analysis confirmed an orthorhombic crystal structure with unusually low birefringence and strong pleochroism, exhibiting color variations from blue to bluish-green depending on the viewing angle. Despite subsequent mineralogical fieldwork in the region, no additional specimens of comparable quality have ever been documented. Unlike its later discovered Burmese counterpart, often darker, more opaque, and unsuitable for faceting, the Sri Lankan Serendibite was both optically and chemically distinct. Its refractive index exceeded 1.70, with a Mohs hardness of approximately 7, placing it within acceptable parameters for jewelry use. Yet its rarity and scientific significance precluded commercial availability. The faceted stone, believed to weigh under 2 carats, is preserved in a private collection and is not on public display. Serendibite has since been recognized as a mineral of interest within petrogenetic studies, but from a gemological standpoint, it remains virtually unattainable. To date, no second specimen has matched the original in clarity, depth of color, or structural stability undercutting. Its singularity is not the result of legend or loss, but verified limitation. Only one gem-quality Serendibite from Sri Lanka has ever been recorded, and none have appeared. Ranked 6th Grandidierite, 1902 original, Madagascar. First described in 1902 by French mineralogist Alfred Lacroix, Grandidierite was identified during a geological survey in southern Madagascar, near the coastal region of Andromana. The discovery site lay within a narrow pegmatitic vein embedded in high-grade metamorphic rocks, conditions known to produce rare borosilicate minerals, but seldom of gemological transparency. The initial crystal, which exhibited a translucent blue-green hue under natural light, was extracted intact and catalogued at the Muséum National d'Histoire Naturelle in Paris, where it remains preserved as the species-type specimen. Grandidierite's chemical formula, magnesium, iron 2+, aluminum 3, borate, silicate, oxygen 2, accounts for its strong pleochroism, a property that allows the stone to shift visibly between green, blue, and colorless, depending on crystallographic orientation. This optical phenomenon, combined with its relatively high hardness, 7.5 on the Mohs scale, and low birefringence, made the original specimen suitable for gem cutting, although no such cutting was performed then. Notably, the 1902 discovery was the only crystal found at that locality to display sufficient size and optical clarity to meet fasting criteria. Over the next century, scattered occurrences of Grandidierite were reported elsewhere in Madagascar and, much more rarely, in Sri Lanka and Namibia. However, most of these specimens were opaque or heavily included, typically exhibiting a dull, blue-green coloration, lacking brilliance and structural integrity. Even after renewed interest from gemological expeditions in the early 21st century, no second sample matching the original's mineralogical and aesthetic qualities has been confirmed. The 1902 specimen remains the benchmark for the species, geologically significant, chemically complex, and gemologically unique. It is the only known Grandidierite of museum-grade origin to have emerged in a condition potentially suitable for facetting, yet untouched by any attempt at commercial transformation. Its status is not due to the name's rarity, but the rarity of its form. Over a century later, it stands alone. Ranked 5th, Red Beryl, Wah Wah Mountains, Utah. Type 1 in cut. Red Beryl, also known by its mineralogical designation beryllium aluminum cyclosilicate, is chemically identical in structure to emerald and aquamarine, yet compositionally distinct due to the substitution of manganese ions within its crystal lattice. This substitution, combined with the elevated pressure and rare geochemical environment of the Wah Wah Mountains in southwestern Utah, produces a chromophore that results in a deep, saturated red hue unmatched in any other variety of beryl. Despite its classification as a mineral first described in 1904, facetable quality red beryl remains among the rarest materials in gemology. While thousands of crystals have been recovered from rhyolitic volcanic flows in the region, most are microcrystalline, heavily fractured, or too small to be fashioned into gemstones. Of the few successfully cut, only one specimen, recorded during a controlled extraction operation in the late 1990s, has achieved full Type 1 clarity under GIA standards. No eye-visible inclusions, uniform color distribution, and stable internal structure. The gem, reportedly weighing just under 1 carat, was cut from a naturally terminated crystal discovered at over 40 meters in a sealed gas pocket. Its optical characteristics, including a refractive index of approximately 1.562 to 1.595 and strong pleochroism, were thoroughly documented during laboratory analysis. Unlike emerald, which often tolerates inclusions as part of its valuation framework, Red Beryl lacks that market leeway, making its single known Type 1 quality example unique and statistically improbable. The Wah Wah deposit remains the only locality where gem-grade red beryl has been recovered. While the mine is closed to public access and commercial production has effectively ceased, fragments continue to surface through legacy inventory and limited private holdings. However, none have matched the clarity and structural perfection of the Type 1 specimen. No comparable stone has been confirmed before or since. Ranked 4th, Blue Garnet, color change type, Bikili, Madagascar. In 1998, a parcel of rough garnet originating from Bikili in southern Madagascar was submitted to gemological laboratories for routine classification. While most samples fell within expected color spectrums for pyrospessartine garnets, one crystal displayed an optical anomaly not previously recorded in garnet chemistry. Under daylight equivalent illumination, the material appeared bluish-green. Under incandescent light, it shifted distinctly toward purple. The spectroscopic analysis confirmed this was not a simple case of slight hue variation, but a full-phase color change, a behavior previously observed only in select chrysoberyls such as alexandrite. This single crystal, weighing less than 5 carats in its rough state, was ultimately cut into a finished gemstone of approximately 4.2 carats. The faceted stone revealed strong trichroism with high transparency and refractive indices exceeding 1.77. The transition in color was attributed to the high vanadium content, an unusual trace element present within the garnet's cubic structure. Detailed testing ruled out the synthetic origin, dyeing, or heat treatment, confirming the stone as a naturally occurring blue-purpleatine color change garnet, believed to be the first documented. While other garnets from the same region have shown partial or weak color-modifying behavior, no second specimen has matched the intensity, stability, and clarity of the Beckley crystal. The gemstone's unique optical properties, entirely natural origin, and single-source provenance led several gemological institutions to classify it as a singular occurrence rather than a repeatable variant. To date, this remains the only documented garnet capable of transitioning from blue-green to purplish-red in response to standard lighting conditions with the strength of an alexandrite. No other faceted garnet of comparable behavior, size, and quality has entered scientific literature or the commercial market. The stone is currently held in a private collection and has not been exhibited publicly. Ranked third. Musgravite, Australia, first gem-grade crystal. Musgravite, a member of the taphate mineral group, was first identified in 1967 in the Musgrave Ranges of South Australia. Its mineralogical signature, comprising beryllium, aluminum, and magnesium within a trigonal lattice, closely resembles taphate, a rare gem in its own right. Yet Musgravite distinguishes itself through subtle variations in refractive indices, specific gravity, and trace element concentrations, particularly iron and zinc. The initial samples, however, were all microcrystalline and opaque, unsuitable for faceting or gemological evaluation. It was not until the late 1990s that a single transparent crystal of faceable quality was uncovered, reportedly from a pegmatite-hosted pocket within the original Musgrave locality. The rough, pale, grayish-purple stone underwent standard gemological cutting, yielding a finished gem weighing approximately 0.71 carats. Under magnification, the specimen displayed a clean internal structure with only minor zoning in its optical performance. Birefringence, pleochroism, and reflectivity confirmed it to be genuine Musgravite, not misidentified taphate. This crystal remains the only Musgravite specimen from the type locality ever documented to meet complete gem-grade requirements. Although additional sources of gem-quality Musgravite were later discovered in Greenland, Sri Lanka, and Madagascar, none produced stones with identical chemistry, color balance, and geological significance tied to the original Australian site. Most modern Musgravite gems are significantly darker in tone, frequently bordering on opaque, and often difficult to distinguish from closely related minerals without advanced spectroscopic testing. The 0.71 carat Australian stone was acquired by a private collector shortly after its cutting and has not been publicly exhibited since. It is the only known example that combines type locality provenance, complete transparency, and independently confirmed mineralogical identity. No equivalent gemstone has been recovered from the Musgrave Ranges before or since. Ranked second, the Bahia Emerald, Brazil, 2001. In 2001, deep within a Beryl-bearing schist formation in Bahia, Brazil miners extracted a massive mineralized structure unlike any previously recorded in gemological literature. Weighing over 340 kilograms in its most stable configuration, and more than 750 kilograms when accounting for all fragments, the structure contained multiple large, hexagonal emerald crystals embedded in host rock. Some individual emerald segments measured up to 30 centimeters in length. Collectively, they formed a single mineralogical body that would come to be known as the Bahia Emerald. From a gemological standpoint, the crystals lacked high clarity or faceting quality. However, the geological anomaly lay in the aggregation. Never before had such a quantity of emeralds formed naturally in one cohesive block. The emeralds were neither artificially assembled nor reconstructed. Their orientation and pressure seams confirmed natural growth under unique tectonic and hydrothermal conditions, no longer accessible or replicable at the original site. Shortly after its removal, the Bahia Emerald became the subject of a prolonged and highly publicized international legal dispute. Ownership claims spanning Brazil, the United States, and multiple private entities triggered over a dozen court filings, including one in the Los Angeles Superior Court. The specimen remained locked in legal limbo for over 15 years, with its physical location alternating between private vaults, bonded warehouses, and court-authorized storage facilities. As of 2020, the emerald's exact whereabouts have not been officially disclosed. While other large emerald specimens exist, notably from Colombia, Zambia, and Pakistan, none match the Bahia Emerald in mass, formation, integrity, and controversy. It is not the quality of the stones that sets it apart, but the singularity of the event. No second structure of comparable geological coherence, physical scale, or provenance has ever been recovered. The Bahia Emerald stands alone, not as a faceted gemstone, but as a naturally occurring megastructure of emerald-bearing material. Its place in history is defined not by market value, but by the impossibility of duplication. In the first place, the Logan Sapphire, Sri Lanka, circa mid-19th century. Among all recorded specimens of corundum, the mineral species encompassing both ruby and sapphire, few have achieved recognition not only for their size and quality, but also for their complete geological and gemological singularity. The Logan Sapphire, weighing precisely 423 carats, is one such stone. Mined in Sri Lanka during the mid-19th century, it was later cut into a cushion-shaped gem exhibiting a deep royal blue hue and extraordinary transparency. Both remain stable under varying light conditions. Unlike other large sapphires, which are often included, color-zoned, or structurally compromised due to the stresses of natural formation, the Logan Sapphire shows minimal internal fracturing, uniform color saturation, and near-optical grade clarity. Its dimensions and integrity indicate crystallization under exceptionally stable metamorphic conditions that produce not just mass, but rare structural harmony. Classified as a natural untreated Ceylon sapphire, the stone possesses a refractive index and specific gravity consistent with Type II gem-grade corundum. Still, it surpasses standard benchmarks for color and clarity. Advanced spectroscopic scans have confirmed the absence of heat treatment, surface diffusion, or lattice manipulation. Its current setting, a platinum brooch surrounded by 20 round brilliant-cut diamonds, was designed not for commercial sale, but for institutional preservation. Mrs. Polly Logan donated the gem to the Smithsonian Institution in 1960. It now resides in the Hall of Geology, Gems, and Minerals, where it is presented with complete geological documentation and provenance. Although other sapphires have since exceeded their carat weight, none has matched its precise combination of origin, untreated state, structural symmetry, optical performance, and public accessibility. No second sapphire of comparable attributes has ever been identified, mined, or certified. The Logan Sapphire remains a scientific benchmark and a solitary occurrence in gemstone history. Not merely rare, but unrepeated. While most gemstones are defined by rarity, these 10 are defined by isolation. Each appeared once, under precise geological conditions, and to this day has never been found again in the same form. They are not just rare objects, but permanent markers in the scientific record, fixed points in the story of mineral formation, discovery, and preservation. Some remain locked away in vaults or museums. Others are lost, misplaced, or caught in legal disputes. But all of them represent a truth that extends beyond commerce or aesthetics, reminders that the earth can still produce the unrepeatable. There may never be a second. And that is precisely what gives the first its weight. Let us know which resonates with you in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.